morning.
Good morning.
Since I have lived with my mother almost 101 years, I know a lot more than most of you. And some of the statements in this have a long, extended story attached to it. And I will be glad to explain what that means if asked later on. She always stood up for the less fortunate. And she started that early in life. She tells the story of a grammar school boy that was the son of a sheriff in Suffolk. And she had a very good friend that was on the heavy side. And I think her name was Maddie. And the boy kept calling Maddie Fatty. And so my mother said, if you call my friend Fatty one more time, I'm going to beat you up. And she did. And on top of that, the sheriff paid a visit to the house. And I'll finish that story if I ask fast. Back in the early 50s, when segregation was the only way to go, she took on the school council, city council, the council, and for the plight of a very poor black school. And I think it was in Hempstead. I'm not real sure. And I can remember pictures in the paper. I can remember harassments. And in the early 50s, you can imagine how that turned out. But she won. And the school got the money they needed to upgrade. They didn't even have indoor plumbing. It was so poor. That was really something. She rescued and doctored numerous dogs, cats, birds, fish, snakes, rabbits, squirrels, and many survived with her loving care and were treated and were returned to the wild or kept as pets. We had a squirrel named, I think his name was Sammy. I'm not real sure. That was another story. A couple of the quotes that I have are, Mom, Sammy's out. Where's he? There's a monster in the car. Help, my pants are on fire. She tossed me into the pool one day in my best cowboy belt because I threw the cat in the pool. And my mother said, I told her, I said, well, that was my best cowboy belt. And she said, that was my best cowboy belt. She said, well, that's the only suit the cat has. Another one. My mom, she said, but Mom, it will make me sick. Why are you looking like that? She was also a Cub Scout den woman. And I can remember vividly, she was sitting on one of the metal garbage cans, the big ones we used to buy, which you can't get anymore, I don't think. And she said, and with all the cubs around, she said, she had a regular sheet of notebook paper like this. She said, I can pass myself through this paper and not tear it. Oh, boy, you're not going to believe that. So she did. To this day, I have no idea how she did that. She pulled me out of the ocean many times when I was drowning. And even in retirement at the center in Williamsburg, she read to individual children twice a week who needed special attention. She was a mentor to one special underprivileged child and probably saved his life from a life of crime. She often complained about why God let her stay here so long. Well, she had lots to do. And now she's finished. To close, I was going to play and sing a bluegrass gospel song, but decided not to embarrass myself, so I was going to read it, but I couldn't find it. It's probably in my guitar case. If you'll go to YouTube, it's very appropriate based on how many years she spent on this earth. And the song title is, Have You Someone in Heaven Awaiting on You? It's a very, very Beautiful song. I think it's sung by, if you'll look it up on YouTube, there's probably 200 people singing it. But the one you want to look for is Ricky Skaggs and Tony Rice. So please do that. Have you someone in heaven awaiting on you? And I'll be talking with you individually, I suspect. You want to know the rest of the story? So praise the Lord.